All right, I'm hitting record, and I'm pulling my notes up because, again, I wasn't ready. So, well, I was ready, but I don't have everything all laid out and nice and neat and organized. This is my first one to do with all of you guys. My name is Jackie. I'm a diamond coach. I started in Beachbody last year in February. You guys, I think I'm friends with several of you guys already. But I joined a challenge group with Corey, and since joining a challenge group with Corey last February, I've lost 97 pounds doing Beachbody products. So lots and lots of people take my transformation pics and use them. If you haven't seen them yet, you definitely want to go find them. They will drum up a lot of business for you. And if you let me know that you want to use them, I'll make sure, just tell me when you're going to use them, and I'll make sure to comment so that people will know that I'm a real person and that you can say my teammate, my friend, because we're family. So I'm happy to share that. And if it can help people get healthy, then by all means, let's use it. So anyway, so that's kind of my backstory with Beachbody. And then in August, I became a discount coach because my husband and I were trying to figure out if we could still pay for Shakeology. And I didn't do anything in the business for about 2 months because I joined a coach camp and I was like overwhelmed. And I was like, whoa, this is way more than I thought it was going to be. So then I just got scared and I didn't do anything. And then about 2 months later, my husband was having to look for another job because I was staying home, and I was like, this is silly. I have the opportunity to see if we could at least make what I made, what I spent in Beachbody, in Shakeology. I was like, well, I'm just going to try to make that back. So the first month, I hoped to make $100, and I made 5 times that. And every month since, God has completely blessed us, and my income has just gone higher and higher and higher. And so I became an Emerald coach, and then now I'm a Diamond coach, and now like Beachbody is my crazy life. So it's like all I do all day long. I was a teacher. I'm not going to go back and do that again. I'm going to stay home and be mom at home and do Beachbody, which I love. So that's a little background on me. And if y'all want any information, a lot of people will message me and say, hey, can you send me your story? Or if y'all want that, just let me know. I'm happy to share it. A lot of people use it because I had a lot of health issues, fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, cholesterol. I'm a juvenile diabetic. So if you ever have diabetics, a lot of people will ask me, how has Shakeology helped you with your diabetes? All of those things. So I'm happy to help if y'all need any help. I am just looking at the mess of my hair. I'm so sorry. I didn't even get cute before we did this because I was so sorry. Okay, so tonight, guys, we are going to talk about following up. If you're not doing your power of threes, I was very resistant to power of threes when I started, and I was like, oh, that takes too much time. I have like 130 challengers now. And that is because I do power of threes every day. I do it 5 days a week. You need to be doing it. Your business will explode if you just do it. Do it consistently. You invite friends, you start conversations, you follow up, and following up is part of that power of threes. So if you're not doing power of threes, you need to be, because it will make your business explode. But part of the power of threes is doing your follow-up. So typically what I do is, and I had all this on my phone, and now I've sat down and I don't have my phone, but that's okay. Typically what I'll do is when I invite somebody, or if somebody messages me and says, hey, I want to hear about the fix, or, what are you doing, or whatever. So I use a lot of the scripts that were already in your manual, the Arete manual. So I copied and pasted those, and I made documents, and then I changed them to fit my story. So my story, I always start with, like, last February, I was desperate. I weighed 250 pounds. I would lose weight. I would put it back on. And so I kind of start with my story. And then I use the script that's there about challenge groups. And Corey wrote it. It's fantastic. If you haven't found it yet, go find it, because it's really good. And it's in the manual. So then from there, what it does is it asks questions like, what what are your goals? How much weight do you want to lose? What kind of exercises do you like? And so sometimes I don't know how often, but sometimes people message me back, and sometimes they don't. They ask for information, I send the information, and then sometimes I never hear from them again. So I don't know if that's happened to you guys. I'm sure it has. If it hasn't, it will. Or they'll go, oh yeah, here's what I want to do. Here are my goals. And you'll go, oh great, well let me tell you about this program, or let me give you information on Shakeology. And then you don't ever hear from them again, okay? Or they respond. And I will tell you, a lot of times I get people all the way to the point of, hey, I want to order. And you're like, really? Great. Well, here's the steps. Or I'll even say, well, if you'll send me your email and what flavor you want, then I will pre-enroll you. And all you got to do is go finish with your payment information. And sometimes people just fall off the face of the earth. So what we're going to talk about tonight is, what do you do when people are not responding? Whether or not they've asked for information, they're about to buy, what do you do? So I was talking to Corey about this today, and I loved the word she said. She's like, it can be maddening. Like, it can drive you crazy. I've had a person who has strung me along for months before, like months, who are like, okay, I'm in and I'm going to buy on Friday. And Friday comes and they never do anything, you know. And then you go, okay, so what do I do? I'll send them a message. And then they don't respond. So here are some different ways to respond in those situations. If somebody's interested and they stop speaking to you, first of all, don't take it personally. It's not you. It's them. Something's happened. The money has fallen through. They are not ready. They've decided, I've got too much going on. It's not you. It's not like they've woken up and gone, oh, well, Ashley pushed my buttons and I'm not speaking to her. That's not what happens. So what you want to do is you want to make sure your relationship is okay. So you need to do something. You do need to follow up with them. Send them a message and say, hey, Robin, you know, we had gotten to a point where you're really interested in the 21-day fix, and I have a new group, and it's starting in a week. And it will totally not hurt my feelings if this isn't a good time, but I wanted to know if you need me to save you a spot. And if you do, I need you to go ahead and get that ordered today. Or, you know, maybe not today, but sometimes I'll tell people, it takes 7 days to get your stuff. And I find that when people don't have their stuff when the group starts, that they never catch up or they feel overwhelmed. So I always make sure to make it like I'm just looking out for your best interests, which you really are. So you just need to make sure you don't go, hey, are you ordering or not? You know, or do you know how much time I spent talking to you and now you're just going to quit talking back, or, you know, whatever. Okay. So you just make it light, like, you know, it doesn't hurt my feelings. If it's a bad time for them, guys, they're not going to do the program anyways. I can't tell you how many people I feel like I kind of like pushed and pushed to just like, okay, come on, you know, you want to do this. And they sign up and they don't even open the box. And then you kind of lose them because then they're like, oh yeah, I tried that Shakeology stuff like twice and it just wasn't for me. So you got to make sure they're ready. So that's what I would say. When you follow up, make it light, make it easy. It's not personal. It's them. It really is. It's them. It's something they're struggling with. The other thing that you can do, so like let's say you send that and they don't respond. And you're like, okay, now what do I do? Another thing that really works is if you can message them and say, I would really love it if we could just talk on the phone. And I'm going to be honest. I am an extrovert. Like I typically am fine talking to people. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the society and day and age, like I don't really like to talk to people on the phone anymore. I'm much more comfortable just sending a message. I'm like, I could get this sent to you and done and over with. And it's also probably because I have a kid, a baby that's like, you know, it's hard to find time. But I'm telling y'all, I would say almost 100% of the time, if you can get somebody on the phone with you and they can hear your passion and they can hear, like, it just doesn't come through I see a cute kiddo. It just doesn't come through. It doesn't come through through text messaging or Facebook messaging. So, and as a new coach, it takes a little while to get your groove and your niche and all of those things. So you always want to make sure when you follow up that you are sincerely concerned or that you are sincerely looking out for your challenger's best interest. If all you're doing is trying to make a quick $50 or $35, it will come through and they will know that. So when you follow up, you make sure you're looking out for your challenger's best interest. So first thing you do, send a message, check in on them. If you don't get a response, see if they'll do a phone call with you. And then if that doesn't work, let's say you've done that, the other option instead of a phone call also is, did you know on Messenger you can actually record yourself? So it takes a little practice, and I did it I've done it a few times, but I'm going to tell you, you need to practice using, if you go into Messenger, there's a little microphone and you can hit record. The only problem is as soon as you take your finger off, it sends it. So if you go, hey, Allie, it's Jackie, and, oh, shoot. And then you want to stop and you take it will send that. You need to like redo it. But the best thing is like so what I did is I have a teenage daughter and I was like, hey Bailey, I'm going to practice sending this to you a few times. And I did. I messed them up like 10 times. And then you finally kind of get the groove of, oh, okay, it's real sensitive and you got to be careful. But the other thing you can do is do a voice message. That's just real light and easy. Hey, it's Jackie. So excited that you're interested, and I just know that this program is going to bless you. I got a group starting up. I know you're interested. I need you to message me so we can chat about it. Or if you want to, let's set up a phone call, but I can't wait to chat with you about it. You can only record 1 minute. So you got to kind of like you may not want to script it, but you definitely want to make sure that you've practiced it. And you can send that because your tone comes across really well and your passion comes across when they can hear your voice. And y'all know, like when you get a text message, how easily it is to misread what somebody says or the tone of it. You're like, oh, she totally said this, but she's like, you know how that goes, like where you take offense and it's not meant to be offensive at all. So I usually do something like, hey, I'm about to finalize my group. I just want to know, do you want in? My spots are filling up. You know, you need to give them a sense of like, oh, I need to make a decision. Like I said, it's not personal. People get busy. And here's the other big thing I want to tell you guys. How many people do you see on your Facebook news feed that are selling something? I mean, like our news feed, it's full of it. It's become like, and I know a lot of people are like, I don't even look at Facebook anymore because all it is, like Monique's eyelashes and Jamberry nails and Etsy and Advocare and essential oils. And so here's the thing, guys. People, when you first start, that's what they're thinking about. They're like, oh, another salesperson. But this is so not selling anything. I mean, yes, we're selling a product, but what we're doing is we're helping people's lives, y'all. And over a year ago, there's so many things that I needed help with. And Beachbody, seriously, is what turned things around for me. Like starting to get healthy, starting to work out, starting to eat well. I started to feel better. I got off medicines. I started to look better. And now I'm a coach who daily does Bible studies because I've learned how to prioritize my time being a coach. And so part of my whole ministry, I'm a minister's wife, is that I work in every day now. Like I used to never, ever find time to do things like quiet time with God or pray for my friends who I told all the time, like, hey, I'm going to pray for you. And then I didn't. And so like Beachbody has made me such a disciplined person, doing personal development, doing my follow-ups, starting conversations. So you got to get over that hump of like, what if they think I'm just selling them something? You know what? They might when you first start. If you're not consistent on Facebook, if you make a post like 1 time a month, what you want is when people wake up and they can't button their pants, and they're crying because they don't feel attractive, and they, you know, they're frustrated because they haven't met a, you know, they went and ate a cheeseburger and they had promised themselves they were going to stick to that goal. You guys know what it feels like when you're so discouraged with yourself. What you want is when they start to feel like that, you want them to think of you. Like you're the person that they see who's positive on Facebook, who's adding value on Facebook, who's telling people about how your life is better. And if all you do is post like a snapshot of 21-day fix containers and say, this is on sale, call me, you're not going to make that connection with them that they're looking for. So that's how people are going to contact you. That's how those follow-ups are going to happen, is that they need to know you're for real. Are you going to be like the person that they've seen who for like 3 weeks, all they do is blow up their news feed about some product and then they stop? Like, I can't tell you how many times since I've started, I've seen people get into some sort of business that they can run on Facebook, and then all of a sudden it's nothing. So you don't want to vomit. You know, that's like a term we say, don't vomit, Beachbody. But people need to know that you are a person who's going to add value to their life, who sincerely cares, who's not just in it to make a quick buck, who is passionate about something that they want to share. And when you do that, you are going to set your business on fire as far as people going, okay. I have people, like, even when I first started, I had lost, I don't know, like 65 pounds. And, you know, what's kept people coming to me is that they can see, okay, this is sincere. Like, she really is doing, this is not like, oh, you know, look at me, now I'm thin, and I just think I'm big stuff. That, you know, that's not what this is. This is like, I have been blessed with something that has made my life better in so many different ways, and I see how many of you out there want it and need it, and we have the steps to help you, and I would love to help you. So you've got to be consistent. I think that's pretty much the majority of what I wanted to oh, yes. So, like, let's say you do all of those things. Let's say you get them on the phone. Or you don't get them on the phone. You try to get them on the phone. You follow up with them, and you still don't get any response. And it's going to happen. Like, some people are going to just, like, not respond at all, and they're not going to tell you why they're not responding. They're just not going to respond. So here's what you got to say to yourself, and I work on this too because I get discouraged or frustrated or whatever. This is not the right time for them. And I promise you, I'm not going to say everybody, but you will be surprised if you stick with this business and you stay consistent in it. You will be surprised how many people eventually will contact you. I have people all the time who I'll send a message to, I never hear from them. Or I'll send a message and they'll ask for information, and then they'll say, it's just too expensive, I just can't do it. Or I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna watch what I'm eating, and when I have a membership at the Y, and I'm just gonna keep doing that. And you know what you say? You say, okay, I just want you to find what works for you. And if you need any help or encouragement, just know that I'm here. Okay, and they're not gonna message you the next day and say, hey, do you have a recipe? More than likely, they're not gonna say anything to you for a while until they're back in that same cycle of, I dropped off again, I've put on 15 more pounds, and I don't know what to do. That's when they're gonna contact you, and you're gonna be there to listen to them. So it doesn't happen overnight. You just have to be patient, and you can't compare yourselves to other coaches. You have to be you, and just know, like, God's timing is going to work, and you're going to have to trust in that and know that if you're doing your behavior, your power of threes, if you're doing your personal development, guys, I blew it off in the beginning. People quit all the time because they're not doing personal development. They get discouraged and they go, it doesn't work. Personal development is, I don't go a day without it, ever, because it is that vital. So you got to find somebody you love to listen to. I love Chalene Johnson. If you guys haven't heard any of her podcasts, she does free podcasts. You can download them on your phone. She's fun. She's smart. She's made ridiculous amounts of money, but she has such good balance in her life, and she's phenomenal. She also does free online like academies. I just finished one called Push 30 that taught me how to manage my time and taught me how to set goals and how to do a to-do list properly and keep my goals going. And she just kind of set a fire under me. So I know it doesn't feel like it's that important, but it's kind of like your little dose of dense daily good stuff for your brain to keep you focused and positive and trust the process. So if you're not doing personal development, find something you love. If you start reading a book and you can't even get through 3 pages of it, then move on to something else. Find something else. It's not the right thing for you right now. You want to look forward to personal development, so make sure you're doing that. Can I answer any questions for you guys? And if you have one, make sure you take yourself off mute so I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Jackie?
I can. Hey, Whitney.
Hey. So, I'm so excited about everything Beachbody right now, and I've got my first group of challengers going, and it's so fun. And so I think I've been listening to Chalene. I'm gonna have to look into her push thing, but I don't want to do this to the detriment of my family, and I'm one of those people that's like, I'm all in, and this is the first thing I've ever really done that I could see myself doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, it's adding value to people's lives, whereas if you're selling candles and that's what you love to do, awesome, but a candle isn't changing someone's life.
Right.
And I think for those of us who are Christians, this is just, it's like a really big package all rolled into one. But my big deal is I don't want to take precious time away from my family and even from taking care of our home.
Yeah.
Because really this is all I want to be doing. But how did you find that balance and just all of that?
Yeah, so that to me is one of the hardest questions, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's something that I have to be constantly reminded of. It is something I struggle with. I stay home with my 2-year-old, and one of the things that I have done with that Chalene Johnson Push 30 is she makes you do a to-do list, and she makes you schedule your time. So I am a night owl. You'll probably see me posting at like 1 a.m. or commenting on stuff. I'm a night owl. But I've really had to start to discipline myself that like you need to start shutting it down and get to bed. And I would sleep in the mornings later than I should. And then I would be stressed all day long because I didn't get my power of 3s in, and my baby wasn't letting me, and he was having a day, and then I was feeling guilty because I'm wanting to take care of my baby, but instead I'm on my phone. And so, a couple of things that I work on, I'm not going to say I'm perfect at it because I know my family can hear me talking right now, is you need to set business hours. You need to tell yourself, okay, this is the times of days that I'm going to work. I just had to start making myself get up earlier. Like, I am not a 4:30 in the morning kind of person like Corey does, but I have started getting up at 6, and my little boy sleeps until between 7:30 and 8. So I know every morning from about 6 to 8, I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to get my power of 3s done. Those 2 things to me are the most important things that I need to do before my son gets up, because I really cannot do them with him running around. And then throughout the day, I'll even put like from 8 to 8:30 is mommy and Mason time. And I'm going to make him his breakfast and we're going to sit in a chair and we're going to watch a cartoon. And I make sure, you know, and then I might put like 8:30 to 9, I'm going to bathe him. And that might sound crazy, but for me, I need to see it or I'm going to forget. And the other thing you need to do is you got to make your challengers aware. Jenny Laurie does this, and I think it's great. She does a little blip at the beginning of her challenge groups that says, hey guys, I'm here for you, but I'm a mom, and I have kids and a husband, and so I want to answer you as quickly as possible, but here are the times of days that I will be available. So if you send me a message and it's not during that time, that's fine. Just know I'm going to not look at it until 3 o'clock or whatever time so that she can put her phone down and walk away. But it is to me, that's one of the things I struggle with the most because I don't want to sleep right now. I don't want to put my computer away. I don't want to fold laundry. I want to talk to people and tell them about Beachbody and talk to my challengers and encourage them when they're discouraged. Or somebody just sent me a message and said they're ready to order. I want to tell them how to order so that we can get them set up. And so it's a learning process, but those are some good tips that have helped me. And you just really, you know, my husband and I have sat down and said, okay, from this time to this time, you're not going to look at your phone. You got to, even if you have to put it in a different room, do it. Because for me, if I hear my phone ding and we're eating dinner, I can tell myself not to look at it, but I'm going to be distracted with it or, you know, things like that. So, and a lot of moms burn out because they start to get that guilt of like, all I do is message on my phone and you know, so, you got to set some boundaries, and then you got to stick to them, which is the hard thing, you know?
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a really good question. Anybody else? Or Whitney, if you have another one, that's fine too.
No, thank you so much.
Everybody else is good? Any other questions about follow-up? Anybody finding trouble with that, having issues with people not wanting to follow up? Or I will tell you this, and I'm going to be careful how I say this because I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression. Don't let joy suckers take your joy. Like, there have been a couple, and mostly my relatives, who really discouraged me because they'll tell me, like, I had a cousin last week, a niece, who asked me for help. She's very, very, very overweight, and and anyways, and she's like much younger than me. I'm 37 and she's 20. And she needs to probably lose about 100 pounds, and she's a mom already. And anyways, so she messaged me and she was like, you know, what can I do? I don't have any money. And I took all this time and I sent her meal plans and I sent her free workouts that she could do on Pinterest. Then she messaged me and she was like, we're getting paid and I'm going to buy Insanity. And I was like, my first thought was, well, first of all, it costs $120. And second of all, that is a kick butt workout that I don't even know that I could do at this point after working out every day for over a year. Anyways, long story short, she ordered Insanity from somebody else. She just went online. After I talked to her, she just went online and ordered it from somebody else. And I was so mad about it. Like, I was so mad because I was like, do you know how much time I spent putting all that stuff together? And I told her about Beachbody On Demand, and she could have got it for $40, but instead she went and paid $120. And anyways, don't let it, if people are just draining you of your time. Like, I love her, and if she comes to me again, I'm gonna tell her, hey, you know what, I love you, and if you're serious and you want to commit, I'm not gonna shut the door on her, but I'm not gonna pursue her. And if you have people that are keeping you, sometimes you just need to decide, is this the best way to spend my time and energy? If I have talked to this person for 6 straight months and they keep telling me they're going to order, and this is the 3rd time they've told me they're going to order and they still have never ordered, then you don't need to like tell them, hey, I'm done with you, but you do need to like, don't keep putting them on that follow-up list of like once a week saying, hey, just wondering, are you going to order? Are you going to order? Because they're stealing your energy, your joy, and your time. So you got to be careful about that. You got to get to a point where you go, okay, I don't know why this person just wants to keep talking to me, But I have at one point said, you know what? This program does take a lot of dedication and a lot of time and a lot of commitment. And I can tell that you are really struggling with that. So I don't want to push you into anything you're not ready for. And as soon as you're ready, you let me know, and I will be here to support you and walk you through it. And then I promise you the next day you will feel a weight off your shoulders. Like, oh, I don't have to message this person 10 times today about whatever, and they're never going to order. So that takes some time and experience, and it's kind of, for me, I'm not typically a confrontational person, so it kind of stresses me out a little bit. But you do have to come to a point where you're like, okay, there are other people who want to do this, who are ready, who I could be helping, and this person is really just stealing my energy and my joy and all of those things. So you got to kind of brush it off and move on. That's just my opinion, because for whatever reason, it burns me up. I'm like, okay, I don't know what other stuff I can do for you if you're not going to commit. So, anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, I'm really glad you guys made it. I'm so sorry that I messed up the time and that I didn't have everything in front of me that I wanted to have. And I hope this wasn't just a rambling mess, that you felt like you got something out of it. So my big message, personal development, do it. Do it, do it, do it. You'll be so glad you did. Power of threes, do it. I mean, I have a million challengers and I get messages all the time and I still do it. I mean, like, I still do it. And I know the reason why my business continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger is because I do it. And I have hit over Success Club 20 every month pretty much since I started. And that has been consistency. I know I have a big transformation story, but that will only take you so far. So don't think, oh, I only lost 15 pounds or whatever your story is. You have a niche and you need to find it. So how can you take your story, because there are other people out there, especially your friends on Facebook, who are similar to you, who are going to connect with what your story is. You got to figure out what that is, and then run with it and be sincere, and your business is going to do fantastic. So, all right, no more questions? Nothing? We got 6 minutes. Oh, man, I just answered everything, I guess, right? All right, if y'all need anything, if you're not my friend on Facebook, it's Jackie Payne Gifts. You can definitely be my friend. I will friend you. And if there's anything I can do for you guys, y'all just let me know. Okay?
Thank you.
Y'all have a blessed
night. Thank you, Jackie.
No problem. Y'all get some rest and go do your personal development.
Got it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.